Join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening. I would like to welcome everyone to the Bryan City Council meeting for Monday, March 20th, 2017. First item on our agenda is the approval of the minutes. Council, you have those in front of you.
I move to approve.
Second.
Judy?
Yes.
Carrie?
Yes.
Keith?
Yes.
Tommy?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes. Second item is Clerk-Treasurer's report.
The council's been presented with the Clerk-Treasurer's report for the month ending February 28, 2017.
Any questions regarding the Clerk-Treasurer's report?
I move we accept them as given to us.
Second.
Keith?
Yes.
Carrie?
Yes.
Tommy?
Yes.
Judy?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes. Third item is hearing of public concerns. Not seeing any. We'll move on to the fourth item, which is an ordinance. Lori, would you please number and read?
Ordinance number 5, 2017. An ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with M&M Asphalt LLC for the project known as 2017 Street Improvement of Mayberry Drive from Newdale Drive to YMCA entrance, Bryan, Ohio.
We received several bids on this project. We're going to say that the lowest and best bid was M&M Asphalt LLC. With that, I would request that you suspend the rules and approve because we have a completion date that is the Friday before Memorial Day. So the quicker they can get in there and get some of the underground work done and get some tile put in to help start the drainage process to dry it out, the quicker we'll get the road done.
This is a full removal and
We're doing a full depth removal, correct? Correct.
council.
I move to suspend.
So I'll second.
Carrie?
Yes.
Judy?
Yes.
Keith?
Yes.
Tommy?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Move to adopt. Second.
Keith?
Yes.
Tommy?
Yes.
Judy?
Yes.
Carrie?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Thank you.
Item number 5 is an ordinance. Lori, would you please number and read?
Ordinance number 6, 2017. An ordinance to create section 959 exequatur, small cell wireless facilities within Title IX Streets, Utilities, and Public Services of the Bryan Municipal Code to provide wireless communication companies with access to the right-of-way in order to comply with federal law and with Ohio Revised Code sections 4939.01 through 4939.08 to establish clear rules for the siting, construction, and maintenance of wireless communication facilities in the right-of-way, and to protect the city's interest in preserving the right-of-way aesthetically and as a pedestrian-friendly thoroughfare and declaring an emergency.
Mrs. Fisher?
Thank you.
$1,154, warnings were 1,516. Dispatch handled 2,350 911 calls, 75,176 radio calls, and 42,207 telephone calls. There was 9,289 calls for service, and calls for service is anything that an officer actually had to handle. That's the organizational chart, the chief, captain, administrative secretary, patrol officers on down. Last year, we had 3 new appointments, Rathke, Corcus, and Hammond. We had 3 resignations and 2 retirements. Again, that's the breakdown of the officers, from chief, captains, administrative assistant. There's 3 sergeants, patrol officers, 1 dispatch records clerk. There are 5 dispatchers, 1 of them being part-time, and then there's 6 reserve officers. Or, excuse me, there's 4 reserve officers and a chaplain. Community relations, that was handled by Matt Arnold until his retirement. Paul Zawodny then assumed the duties. They handled 30 juvenile programs, 3 programs with teachers, 3 adult juvenile programs, and then a list of safety programs that they handled throughout the year. Facebook, we had 5,000 followers on our Facebook. Twitter, we had 1,206 registered followers. And the webpage, we had 5,314 visits. Bike patrol, we've got 5 officers at this time that are on bicycle patrol. They rode in hours, 190.5 hours, 397 miles, and then they handled 43 assists, 48 criminal complaints, issued 1 traffic citation, 5 traffic warnings, and did 36.5 community relation hours. Our police chaplain is Roger Blau. He is very active in our department. He comes up, talks to the guys, rides with them. He does get called out for any type of comfort or counseling with family members that are involved in any type of crimes. The officers' training last year, we had 11 hours that were mandated by the state, which consisted of community relations, crisis de-escalation, use of force, human trafficking. The officers had 1,085 hours of training. That also consists of stationary moving radar and then our annual firearms qualifications. We did begin our electronic citations last year, which is done right in the car on the mobile computers. Makes it a whole lot easier, a lot less paperwork. Everything is downloaded right to the state and the court. Vehicles, we have 11 vehicles. There's 6 marked cars, 1 of them being a K-9, 2 unmarked detective cars, an unmarked school car, which is shared by other departments in the city, unmarked captain, and unmarked chief car. Maintenance, total maintenance cost was $10,889. Cost per mile driven was 7 cents per mile. Total number of miles put on the cars were 165,454 miles. Used 10,979 gallons of gas. At a cost of $21,506. And that equaled out to 13 cents per mile. Dispatchers, they are on 24/7. 911 calls, like I said earlier, they handled 2,350, radio calls 75,000, and phone calls 42,000. They handle all 911 calls that come into the city. They handle not just police department, but fire department, all the radio traffic, all the dispatching out of the fire department. When the city is shut down, like in the evening and on weekends, then they handle all the incoming calls to the city. after hours. They also take bonds and type up affidavits for the officers. Traffic enforcement, citations, this includes the OVI, adult and juveniles was 1,154. Crashes, 0 fatalities. Injuries, we had 45. Non-injuries, 297. Parking tickets, we had 76. The alcohol breath test, there's 146 tests that were administered on our machine. Out of that, 56 of them were administered by the Bryan Police Department. That's a breakdown of the tests. Again, 56 by Bryan PD, 12 by the State Patrol, 20 by the Sheriff's Department, and 6 by others. The remaining number was the officers. They have to recertify every year on the machine, and then every 7 days the machine has to, the certification has to be checked, so it has to have a test run on it. So that's where you get the rest of the 146. K-9 unit, Justin Garza took over the K-9 unit in August. So these stats are from August through December. He had 1 assist in the arrest, 12 assisted other agencies, 4 demo, and then the narcotics, he did 13 of the sniffing, which is around the vehicles on traffic stops and such. Article searches 1, building searches 8, had a total of 36 altogether that he used the K-9 for. Had 224 hours of training. He also went through, I believe it was 6 weeks as a new handler that he had to go to school and get trained with the dog. Detective's office, these are just the complaints that were handled by the detective. 124 investigations, 84 were cleared for 67%. There was 6 CVSA truth verification tests that were administered. We had 194 pieces of evidence come into the department, and 97 pieces of evidence that were either destroyed, returned, or converted over to police use by the court. This is a breakdown of the different complaints that the detectives handled. Theft and larceny is still at the top, 47. Man unit, they handled 97 cases involving 93 people last year, 21 probation permission searches, 23 meth labs, dump sites, search warrants. There was 9, and 84 people arrested for 160 charges. And then that again is a breakdown of the man unit, different cases that they handled. The methamphetamines and heroin is still way up there as far as the cases that they are handling. The reserve activity, again, there's 5. We did leave one of them off the first page that I showed you, Jared McCann. There are 5 reserves. They work for 115 hours, and they work crowd control at sporting events, the Jubilee Parade, Day in the Park, different things like that. They come out and ride on weekends. I believe in your book there was a breakdown of, it's not on the slides here, but there was a breakdown of all the calls for the year that the officers handled. Traffic stops were on top with 3,329 stops. calls for service for the year, that 9,438 should be 9,289. Again, that's any call that the officers actually went out and handled something on. Calls for service daily, as you can see, Friday and Saturday still pretty busy. 1,500 on Friday, 1,400 on Saturday. And then by the hour, pretty much 2 p.m. to midnight is a busy time. And that is it. Have any questions?
The new dispatch system, is that up and operational?
Yes.
How's that working out for you?
It's got its bugs. I mean, the guys are trying to get used to doing everything in the computers, out in the cars and stuff like that. But it's a lot nicer. The guys, of course, the younger guys that have grown up around computers, they jump right into it and they're gone. The older guys are having the issues with it, but everyone that uses it says they really like it, and it's going to be really nice once they get used to it.
Good.
Chief, there's a number I just circled here, jumped out, was assist civilians, 1,144 of those. Is that, I'm gonna try to be as polite as I can here, is that the stuff that shows up in the Bryan Times in that log? Is that what a lot of
Anytime,
that is?
yes, anytime that we're called to help with a child or something like that, yes.
Is there any way that we can control that somehow or another, or, because somebody asked me the other day, and then I had to go and read it in the log. But one of the complaints is that it was in there that a civilian called and they were doing ding-dong ditch, okay? Now, I'm not sure what it is, but I'm assuming it's probably kids, somebody going up, ringing a doorbell, then taking off and
Yes.
hiding, or whatever the case may be. I was hoping
Yes.
that's what it was, you know? But my point is, why would we respond to that, or are we legally obligated to respond to that?
Yes, we are. I mean, when we get called, we have to go. I mean, if somebody calls and says somebody's knocking on my door, we don't know what the situation is until the officer gets down there. That's just something we have to go. When we find out what it is, we can give the caller advice. But initially, we get a call, we have to go and check it out.
All right, what about a young child who doesn't want to go to school? A child that doesn't want to go to bed, whatever?
Yeah. Well, again, we get called, we go down, and we try to talk to the parents, give them advice, and hopefully they will take the advice and we won't get called down again. But it just comes down to when we get a call, we have to respond.
I would guess that, I don't know, pick out a number, 1,144 calls that you got on this, okay? So, and again, I would estimate that time you go down there, an officer goes down there and talks to the residents and things like that, that you probably, there's a half hour gone.
Oh,
You
yes.
know, and so, of that 1,144, how many of those are legit? You know, where there is some concern and some of the issue, or some of the examples I just brought up.
Yeah.
My point is that we get complaints from people that, oh, the police aren't down my street. It's just, there's a racetrack down here, you know, this and that, and this and that. Oh, they're running through stop signs and all this and that. Well, right here's proof that we spend a lot of time doing other things, whereas that we could be spending time taking care of other issues, you know, that are more, to my opinion, more important than some of this stuff here. But
I guess the bottom line
It
is.
just comes down to
we're
if we
obligated,
get a
we're
call.
obligated, but-
Yeah, when we get a call, we have to respond and handle it appropriately.
Yeah.
Gotta keep the Girl Scouts under control.
The who?
They had a complaint that there
Oh.
was somebody there and it was a Girl Scout
Selling cookies.
selling cookies.
Did that make a paper?
Yes, it did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Just a little levity there.
Sometimes I don't know if it's made Facebook or the paper, I get a little confused. Sometimes it hits both on an unlucky day.
Just be like me, don't have Facebook and just go down to one thing. That's all I'm saying.
That
know?
would be smart, Tommy. Some of that wisdom. right
Thank
there.
you very much, Chief
Thank you.
Willis.
Thanks, Chief.
Thanks.
Thank you, Chief.
Okay, we'll go around the room, see if there's anything further. We'll start with wastewater. Anything? Chief Willis, anything further?
No, sir.
Mr. Wheelan?
No, sir.
Mr. Merchdorf?
No, sir.
BPA? Nothing there? Mr. Day?
I just want to caution people to get out walking and riding bikes, to have something bright on. Let's try not to, so we don't hit people. It's tough, and I know that some drivers are, they have other things on their minds like telephones and like that, but you gotta protect yourselves when you're out there on the highway.
Thank you. Mr. Moore?
Going to Wes and Rick, now what you ought to do, Wes, is that you ought to hire Rick back, and then you can put the whip to him like he's been whipping you. Just post it, and Rick, you apply, and we'll be all set to
We'll
go.
approve it.
Yeah, yeah. And then you, yeah, you will be glad to get out of here on the 31st. Oh, okay, so I'm gonna get on my
Soapbox?
yeah, my soapbox here. Again, I'm still irritated about this sales tax, that our sales tax that we have to send down to the state now. And I see, and I didn't have a chance to talk to Lori or the mayor about this, but I read in the paper again where Perrysburg is strictly against it, and they are gonna send a resolution or something to the governor and stating that, so I don't know what they were gonna put in it, but is that something we would be willing to do or not?
We have sample resolutions from the Ohio Municipal League, and that's where they're getting their information. I attended the kind of the regional state report today, and that's one of the big things that everyone is looking at. There's the idea, it's not a complete tax, it's a business tax, and the idea is to send that down to Columbus and charge us 1%.
Right.
And there's a lot of things, instead of getting it back monthly like we do, in a timely fashion, they send it back to us quarterly. There's nothing in that bill that states that they have to send it back. If they would get in a budget problem down there, it could stay down there, those kind of things could happen. What they're saying, that everyone is being proactive in putting these things out. It's more than just Perrysburg, but quite a few, I
Right,
think Pioneer
right.
did it, Western, several other ones. And we can do that, and we can have one ready, could have had one tonight. You just put Bryan in instead of what they put in.
Right.
But it's out there, but they said, don't get too rushed until it gets closer to budget time. We'll be knowing more about it. But there's nothing wrong with sending our comments down there, and I can have one prepared by the next meeting.
I don't know, my opinion is, I'd just like to see something on our letterhead,
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
they know, and or even knowing
Yeah.
the politicians and that they could care less, probably. They're gonna get it, and they're gonna throw it in the wastebasket, and it's over.
We've sent several of them before,
Yes.
and we've also approached our congressman and
Right.
spoken to them, but I mean, we can do it again.
Yeah, yeah.
And the other big thing out there, just hit the Toledo Blade yesterday and today, is that the federal budget, if that goes
Amtrak?
through, and that's not only Bryan, but it's all the way through, as far as Toledo and the whole business could go out if that isn't passed. Once again, they said, don't get in a hurry, that's just the beginning phases of that, but that's a federal
But you're talking Amtrak.
I'm talking Amtrak.
Yeah,
Keep going.
right, that was my other,
That's
I
another-
was gonna bring forward,
Yeah.
is that they would eliminate Amtrak in the state of Ohio with the current budget, but like they say, it's, about a 50-50 chance, I think, the way
And
I
the other
can-
thing is in there, if you have a carryover, we try to do a carryover about $1 million a year and try to hope that in, but if they give any money back to the local government funds, they cut that back about 5 years ago in half, and they're looking if cities would get any money back, if they have the ability to tax their people, or our income is so high, we don't have a chance of getting any money back in a local government fund, because they say Bryan is able to raise money to do these things, but try to get a levy passed of any kind now in this economy to say that, well, the state took our money away, we need more money. It's just
Well,
not gonna happen.
was, this then was about a week ago, whereas that they listed several cities in northwestern Ohio, and it didn't list Bryan, but I'm looking at that, and there was, I don't know, it was Rossford maybe, or something like that. Their budget was, I'm just gonna pull out a number, it's like $18 million. But their carryover is about 12 or 15 million, or something like that, you know? And then there was several of them they listed, and here we are, $26 million on our side, you know, a budget, and we're trying to hold $1 million, and we're lucky some years if we get that, you know? So again, the more they take away from us out of that $1 million, that carryover is just, it's devastating. And you're, like you say, it goes right back to Joe Public is what they want. They want, so they're gonna put the heat on us to go out to Joe Public to pass to get the money, because the state doesn't wanna use their, what is that, rainy day?
Rainy day
Rainy day
Fund.
fund, they've got the money.
Yep, right, sure they do. All right, I'm off my box, I'm done, thank you.
I just want to say good luck to Rick and to Wes, both in your new endeavors.
Mrs. Slade?
I would like to echo that. Best of luck on your retirement, Rick, because I know one of these days we're not gonna see you again. You keep promising that. And I'm looking forward to working with you, Wes. Chief, thank you for your summation for the year. I appreciate that. And thank you, all of you, for your kindness. My grandma passed away, and I appreciate your thoughts and prayers. So, thank you all.
Thank you. Mrs. Rhodey?
No, sir.
Mrs. Fisher?
No,
Mayor?
Tommy took my thunder, so I guess.
I knew I should have called you.
So
Jeez.
But I will say that our annual reports ended tonight, that was the last one, but I think at the 2nd of April, our next meeting, we're gonna have a GIS with Nate Gardner. He had a nice presentation for the BPA several weeks ago, and with Bryan to show you what all goes into the GIS, and it's quite a thing you wanna see, so they're gonna be on the agenda at the April 2nd meeting, and at the
Third.
third meeting, yeah. So, another report coming. And our sympathies to Carrie and family. So. Okay,
Okay, I have nothing further other than congratulations to Rick again, and to Wes, and hope to see you around, Rick, in the future, and been nice working with you, a lot of different capacities, so. And I want to thank everyone for coming tonight. We are going to take a brief recess and go into executive session for the acquisition of property. I would entertain, no, would not entertain. I guess that's it.
Great.
there could be action taken after that executive session. Call you.